So Prime Minister Narendra Modi made an appeal to Vladimir Putin. He asked Putin to choose diplomacy and dialogue. He said there was no solution on the battlefield. Either Putin disagrees or Moscow had already set a plan in motion, because yesterday Russia launched an attack on Ukraine, one of the largest attacks in months. Dozens of missiles, including hypersonic ones, were launched at Ukraine. Multiple cities were targeted, including Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. Russia says it was going for military facilities in response to an earlier Ukrainian attack. It was supposed to be a show of force. And here's why I say this. The attack took place yesterday, a day before a summit was supposed to begin in Washington, D.C. A NATO summit celebrating 75 years of the alliance. All 32 NATO members are sending their representatives. And they had planned to send a message of support for Ukraine. Now, Ukraine won't become a NATO member, not yet anyway, but the group was expected to talk about the way forward for Kyiv. It was also going to pledge more aid worth about $43 billion. This will be a commitment for 2025, $43 billion. NATO is also expected to take a more hands-on approach in Ukraine by directly providing weapons and training. Currently, this is organized by individual NATO member states. But now NATO, the group itself, will arrange weapons and they will organize training programs. And this brings NATO a step closer to direct confrontation with Russia. Moscow knows this. Listen to the Kremlin spokesperson.
Russia will follow the NATO summit with maximum attention. You know that the North Atlantic Alliance is the alliance which considers the Russian Federation its enemy, an adversary. This is the alliance which repeatedly and openly declared its aim to strategically defeat Russia on the battlefield. This is the alliance which is directly involved in the Ukrainian conflict on the Ukraine side. Therefore, we will be following very closely the rhetoric which is about to take place, the negotiations and decisions that will be adopted and put on paper.
Moscow is keeping an eye on NATO, so the timing of the latest attack was no coincidence. It was supposed to send a message. However, things may not have gone according to plan, because Russia fired dozens of missiles at Ukraine across multiple cities, and in Kyiv, a missile fell on a children's hospital, leading to chaos and a frantic rescue operation. Russia says this was not its handiwork. It says that a Ukrainian air defense missile hit the hospital, a Western NASAMS missile. Kyiv denies this, of course. It says this is the missile that hit the hospital, a Russian Kh-101 rocket. Kyiv has released these photos to incriminate Russia. Yesterday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was in Poland signing a new defense pact. That's when he got news of the Russian attack and he was quick to react.
As of now, we know of 27 people killed in this strike. I would like to ask for and I thank for this opportunity. I would like to ask everyone present to pay tribute with a minute of silence.
Zelensky called for a moment of silence and then he loudly blamed Russia for the hospital attack. His Western allies believe him. The global condemnation has been swift. The United Nations Secretary General said the strike was, quote-unquote, particularly shocking. The UN Security Council called an emergency meeting to discuss the attack. Meanwhile, US President Joe Biden also condemned Russia. He said the attack was a, quote-unquote, horrific reminder of Russia's brutality. Russia wanted to send a message to the West, but it's unlikely that it wanted to galvanize them. So the hospital strike seems to have been a mistake, one that the West will no doubt use to rally support for Ukraine. Russia's show of force seems to have backfired, and we'll have to wait and see how NATO capitalizes on this.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
We go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment.
So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree. One tree for humanity. One tree for Mother Earth. One tree for our future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
On this today, the T20 World Cup bandwagon has moved across to the West Indies. What can you expect from this?
Hello, I'm Alison Green, coming to you from Durban, South Africa. Today we have a special show.
We'll start with a report on India's shifting nuclear posture. The first time since India officially became a nuclear power.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost America. I'm Aaron Ham, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Washington, D.C.